Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Ash coming at you. So today's topic is very exciting. You're going to love this. We're going to be talking about objection handling. And there's a couple of key points I want to mention about objection handling. That's when, some people have failed to overcome the objection in their presentation. Because part of the things that I teach is making sure that you eliminate the objections in your presentation. But if that doesn't happen, 20% of the time they still come up with objections. So I'm going to go over the three main objections you're going to get. Okay, so the three main objections is going to be like this. Okay, so first of all, it's they're going to tell you it's I don't have the money, right? Or they say I don't have the time, or they're going to say I have to talk to my partner. Okay, these three are the most common objections you're going to face. So I'm going to show you what it comes down to, and it's all about fear. All right. Fear gets in the way. So the first thing I'm going to teach you is how to get to this fear, first of all. You have to make sure that the money is out of the way. Let's take care of the logistics first. So if they say to you, you know what, I like your program, I like everything, but I want to think about it. Say, not a problem. That's not a problem at all. But let me ask you this. If I give you a duffel bag, if money was not of the way, if I give you a duffel bag of whatever the amount of your price your product was, let's say $10,000 or 50,000, if I give you a duffel bag full of money, okay, would that be still in the way? In other words, would you do it then? If money was put the money aside for a second, would you still do it then? And what are they going to say? Oh yeah, I'll do it, no problem. Then you have to slow down your pace and push back a little bit. So, well, I'm not sure. Well, what do you mean? Why would you do it though? Well, they might say, oh, because I don't have to worry about the money side. Well, why would you want to do it though? Ask them the second time, because what happens when you ask them the second time, they're going to give you the real objection and say, well, that's because you've got a great program and everything. Don't accept that answer. You want to focus on the answer that's tangible on what's motivating them to do it. Well, that's because they might say, well, because I'm tired of my job, or because what I have right now is just not working out for me, and I think your program would do it. So once they put the focus on themselves, that why they would do it, then you move on to the next steps and say, so let me ask you this: if you can work on a payment arrangements for the money side, maybe you take 1/3 down or 10% down and do it on a financing level, would that solve your problem? And let's say they go ahead, and then you just write up the order. But let's just say they say, no, I still would want to think about it. Now, this is where you're going to come in and do a little bit of a frame, first of all. So I'm going to go over that with you. So what is happening is that fear is kicking in. They're not sure if this is going to work for them. There's fear in the way. So how do you overcome that? So first of all, there's a frame you have to resort to. I'm going to show you how to do that. Get to the frame. Then I'm going to go over, let me just flip that up here. The pushback. We're going to go over a pushback here. What does that mean? I'm going to share that with you. Then the consequence. Write this down. What gets read gets retained. Okay. What gets written gets retained. That's what I mean. And then the CTA, call to action. Important. Okay. So here's how I would handle it. So you still need to think about it after, though, you've gotten logistics out of the way. Money is out of the equation now. Okay. So it's very simple. You say, well, let me ask you a question. Hey, Joe, what is more riskier? Is it riskier to invest the money, get the funding you need, so you can have the skill sets, for example, to build this business or to do whatever that you're looking for to do? Let's say to build a business so you can have and focus on the results right now, on what that results would mean, so you can have the time for your family, so you can have the vacations that you want, so you can quit your job, whatever the end result are, you focus on that. So is it more riskier to get the capital, borrow the money, and you get these skills that you would need that would give you these three key points, whatever those benefits are for them? Repeat that, emphasize on that. And or then the second part is the framing part. The second thing is that, or is it riskier to stay with where you're at, continue working in your job, coming home dead tired, then barely having enough money for your bills, not taking the vacations, not having time for your kids, taking them to school and back, whatever you want to do? Is it riskier to stay there? Or is it riskier to invest the money so you can have these skills? What's more riskier? 99% of the time, they'll say, it's riskier for me to stay where it's at. So, well, why though? You're going to ask, so the minute they say that, you want to ask them, well, why though? Why is that more riskier? Well, that's because, I'll be stuck here and then I'll be stuck. Yeah, I understand. So let me ask you something. So if you continue doing what you're doing right now, and this is what you want to emphasize and talk about the consequence now. Okay, you did the pushback. You asked them about why though. Now you want to talk about the consequence. Well, why though? I mean, you did the pushback. Now you say, well, is it okay for you to continue doing what you're doing right now for the next 2 days, 2 years, two decades from now? What would be the consequence if you stay doing that in 2 years from now or 2 decades from now? Let them answer. They're going to feel that if I keep doing this right now, they're going to make that shift in their mind. They're going to say, you know what, you're right. I do need to change. Okay. Then you may want to ask if you're not satisfied with the answer. Here's another bonus I'm going to give you is you ask them, well, why now though? Why not just put this off for another 6 months? If you find that the person was not as committed with that previous answer, why not just put it off for another 6 months? See, you're doing the pushback here. You can install another pushback right after the consequence if you feel that they didn't really get it. Okay. But if they got it, then you move to the call to action page right here. The call to action is very simple. So seems to me you're ready to make a change. Where would you like to go from here? And if they say, well, I don't know, they say, let me know and tell you how most people do at this point. They say, yeah, well, they put a deposit in. Normally they put a deposit in whatever X amount that's good for you, $1,000, $2,000, whatever it is. And then we help them get financing. And usually within a certain number of days, they get their financing and we're moving forward and we're getting them onboarded and go through their future pacing them at this point. So that's how that would help you overcome objections. I hope that makes sense. Okay, give me a thumbs up. I'll talk to you on the next video. See you next time.